Hey everybody, Marcos Villegas here. Fight week for Cotto versus Canelo, being joined with Bernard Hopkins. And Bernard, let me ask you this. You being middleweight champion for as long as you were, and hearing the news that came out yesterday that Cotto relinquished the middleweight title over the fees that he didn't want to pay, what do you make of that situation?
Well, first of all, I think it's a disrespect to the WBC, and I also think that when you fight for any title, there are provisions before you even are granted to fight for the title, and things are done way before things like this happen. And you got to think like this: when you have a situation where license fees are being questioned, just like Floyd Mayweather and anybody else, and even myself in multiple titles I had, there's always room for negotiations or consideration. And consideration, it helps when you have this magnitude of this type of fight and this type of magnitude. You have to make sure that everybody feel respected. And whether we disagree to agree, you want to feel respected. And I don't think that the WBC got the respect from that side. From our side, they did. But you know what? With the belt, without a belt, it makes it better when it's world, and it makes it better if it's a WBC. But I'll tell you one thing, that it's going down no matter what on HBO pay-per-view and also Ring TV. And we are in neck deep into what if and all these other things that fans are talking about, which makes it good conversation.
We've heard your comments, we heard Oscar's comments on that whole letter that he wrote to Floyd Mayweather. Do you agree with a lot of the points that he brought up?
Well, I didn't read the letter, and I didn't see. I heard this, what you probably heard or read, but I didn't read it. But I heard a lot of things. But you know what? It ain't about Floyd and Oscar right now. We're the promoter. It's about Canelo and it's about Cotto, because anything that has negative when it comes to a mega fight like this, they all had their attention when their attention was needed. Whatever Floyd and Oscar go through and talk about and you know, debate, that's stuff that we can pick through all day. But right now, on HBO pay-per-view, Canelo and Cotto is going to be one of the fights that people are going to talk about. This is bragging rights. This is a rivalry. And anything else outside of that conversation is disrespectful.
Bernard, there's been a lot of talk of the catchweight issue with this fight. Them
What's
fighting
the catchweight, 65?
155
Okay,
for this fight. You being a middleweight champion, you coming in and making the weight. What's your feeling on that? Do you feel that they're kind of disrespecting a bit of the fighters that...
Not really, because nobody wants the advantage, nobody wants the disadvantage, so they meet in the middle. When I was the light heavyweight champion of the world, I came down to fight at 170. I came down to fight Winky Wright and also Kelly Pavlik at 170. So they're always compromising. If you really want to make the fight, you make the fight happen. And I look at that as being an advantage and a disadvantage on both sides, because both of them are fighting in the middle of a weight that they are really not comfortable in. And that's why you come in the middle. That's why you do these fights. It doesn't give an advantage on either side. I can, but I can't. That's like one of those feelings. That's a good feeling when you can, but you can't. We got the momentum. The momentum going.
You feel it, huh?
Oh, yeah. I mean, not only feel it because of the, I mean, like I said, up on the podium, if you even go from the top of the year to October, you know, with September to now, I mean, you know, October to now, when that last, I stand to be corrected.
No, usually with boxing, there's only one big fight a year, and it's been three.
But one thing is, you see what I put out there to everybody in the audience, like, this is what y'all do. Y'all pay attention most time, I hope, and y'all know better than me, but I put it out there. I said, look, when the last time in years where you had at least 3 major fights in 1 year, at least 2 at the end of the year of this magnitude?
Yeah.
I mean, I stand to be corrected. Maybe I've been somewhere asleep. Now, after that, what comes next it's not only hope, it's beyond hope now. It's now like a momentum. It's like momentum is going right into even the conversation, whether he's gonna fight this, is they really gonna fight or this and that. I mean, we didn't have that for a while. I mean, you know when it's an NBA playoff, you know when this team loses, they out of it. And you know it get narrowed down to the last four. You know, and the debate starts when it gets to the last four, right? It really gets to a serious debate because now you got 4 teams left, right? You got 2 in the West, you got 2 in the East, and they got to knock each other off. Every event has that climax. I haven't seen that until now in a long time. I'm being honest. I'm not proud to say that, but I'm being honest. And if I woke somebody up and said, you know what, Bernard, it makes some sense. Well, I ain't really trying to make sense or not make sense. I'm just trying to put facts out. I could have dug a little deeper and said, and we part of those last 2 big shows. You know, we was dead in the water last year. Remember? You remember? You understand? They was writing this. They was writing our obituary.